All right, hey, without further ado, I've delayed this too long. Let's get on with remote Tai Chi Chuan. Who knows if that is even possible? But we're going to try. We'll make adjustments as we go. Feedback from you, my audience, is welcome, and we'll get this working if we can, because I know a lot of people spread around the world who are interested in Tai Chi, and I run into them all the time, and they're getting ready to leave town and go back to Arizona or whatever. So let's see if we can get this working as a remote process. I don't know. All right. What are we going to do? First, we're going to work on safety. I want to get you moving as soon as possible because I do talk too much. But I want to get you, I don't want you moving until we have covered the safety issues. And you might be surprised. Ken, Tai Chi Chuan, safety? Yep. And two, we're going to talk about posture. Straight back. Basically, we're trying to go for a straight back. That's going to entail bending the knees, and that'll get us going on the posture, which is we hold that throughout the form, which is part of why the Tai Chi makes us work so hard, because we are doing a bent leg stance throughout the form for 10 minutes. If we were to do the full form, we'll be doing a 6.5-minute form. Why am I babbling so much? And then afterwards, and then we'll get into moving. We'll do a sort of a cloud hands type of activity. That'll give you a chance to see what it's like to do Tai Chi. It's actually going to cover all the key principles of doing Tai Chi in this single cloud hands exercise. It is said that every movement in Tai Chi has the entirety of Tai Chi Chuan within it. And I think that is true, kind of a fractal thing, if you know your fractals. And then finally, we will actually look at the first movement of Master Chen's 60 movements. It's not completely unlike the first movement of all the other Yang style forms, but we'll do specifically his and specifically his breakdown. Master great Grandmaster William C.C. Chen is my teacher almost from the beginning. I started with a school. Professor Chen Manching's senior students had started before he went back to Taiwan, and then I caught on. Then I got on to great Grandmaster William C.C. Chen. I just call him Master Chen for short, and that was it. I was sold, and I'm still take a Zoom class whenever he offers one. They're wonderful. I'm learning more every time. So why am I talking so much? Okay, so we wanted to talk about safety. All right, so Tai Chi, you might say safety. Yeah, Tai Chi is slow, graceful, and not gentle. They always say gentle, it's not gentle. So let's look at why it is not gentle. So watch, here's the first, the third movement is ward off left. And ward off left goes like this. Did you see the danger? Maybe not. Okay, so what am I doing? So I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see my feet. All right, so I've got a wide stance and I turn out like this. Now, what did I just do? I turned my waist almost 90 degrees to the right. We call this north, that's east. By convention, that's north. 90 degrees to the east. And I'm balanced on my left foot. I can pick up my right foot. Well, there's a lot going on there. First of all, the strain on my hip joint is substantial. I am standing on one leg, balanced on one leg. That leg is bent, so I'm starting to do a single leg knee bend. That's part of why Tai Chi makes us stronger in the legs. But, you know, in this situation, there's a lot of risk. The hip socket, and because I am balanced, I could easily lose my balance, fall over backwards, put down my hand, and break my wrist. Okay, so this is why we talk about safety now. So what does it mean for you? Well, if you are being treated, if you do have bone issues, if you do have balance issues, you might even want to talk to a doctor. I know it's a cliche, but I mean, conceivably, you might say, hey, by the way, doc, I'm thinking about doing Tai Chi. And Ken says, because the doctor might not even be aware of the challenges of Tai Chi, right? So you might say, Ken has all this information about all the different challenges. And the doctor might go, oh my God, don't do that. So you might want to talk to your doctor. If not, we have solutions for some of these risks. For example, I'm talking about this big strain, balance, lifting the foot. Well, we don't have to go so extreme. We can, and you, I say we, You can modify the form any way you need to make it easier for you, so you stay well within your own comfort zone. So you might say, well, I'm just going to turn 45 degrees. So instead of turning all the way to the east, I'm going to turn 45 degrees. I'm going to shift my weight. I'm not going to go down way low. I'm going to dip down a little bit, turn my right foot out, shift my weight. And here, instead of making a big, exaggerated, long step empty, where I'm balanced on one foot while that foot glides out, you just fall into it the way we normally want. The way we normally look, yeah, sure, whatever, boom. All right, so that would be a second solution. So talk to your doctor, simplify the movements any way you need fit. Most important, you be the judge of what you can do. There is no need to push it. You will benefit from Tai Chi no matter how extreme you make it or how easy you make it. And the more you do Tai Chi and the easier you make it for yourself, the more enjoyable it is to you and the more you will practice. And the stronger you will get and the better your balance will get, etc., etc., etc. So, and this is, by the way, I mean, it makes sense, right? But Master Chen is quite explicit on that. If you pick up his book, Brain Aerobics of Tai Chi Chuan, it's available on Amazon, highly recommended. He talks about, he says, yeah, I stand taller. Like a lot of people have a low stance in Tai Chi. He says, yeah, I have a taller stance. And he says, that's no accident. In technology, we say it's a feature, it's not a bug. And he says, this is exactly, I do this for a reason, because I think he's thinking that, and I'm not sure on this part, that the benefit of Tai Chi is not in the strenuous low stances. It's in the execution and the rhythm and the flow and the energy. He talks about falling asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up. In there, I believe for Master Chen is the secret of Tai Chi. Okay, so that's your warning. Tai Chi is not as, it's slow, it is graceful, it is not gentle. All right, so what's next? Next is our posture. The posture is going to make us work harder. And it's important. It's actually, you know, Tai Chi is a martial art, really. And the foundation is a martial art. And the reason for everything we do is about a martial application. Now, we are not getting ready to fight, but we are doing the things that a fighter would need to do to prepare for fighting. And it turns out that that's just very healthy, including the fact that we will imagine, you know, in this, I've been doing this. What I'm actually doing is I'm being attacked on the right shoulder. I'm imagining being attacked, getting out of the way. Get out of the way, trap their arm, step in, and block and strike. Block a kick, and ward off. Now, it turns out that that ingredient of actually anticipating a martial application helps our own energy, our own attitude, our own, well, I'm trying to say, it just enervates, not enervates the wrong word, that means weaken. It energizes our system and it enhances the benefit of Tai Chi. I was just talking to ChatGPT about his good stuff. We'll talk about that some other time. So here we go. We are in a martial situation, and our posture is going to be good. And what we're going to do is sink in the knees, and we're going to rotate the pelvis. See what I did there? So what happens is my spine, my lower lumbar has now been straightened because I rotated my pelvis. You might say, well, it's kind of hard to do that until you've practiced a little bit. You might think about something like saying, really? And when you do that, really? What am I doing? I'm rotating my pelvis, right? Or you might say, yeah, right? Yeah, rotating the pelvis. Now, in that case, I'm doing a crunch. We don't want to use an abdominal crunch in order to rotate the pelvis. You want to relax into it. Now, as I'm relaxed into it, I'm straight in the lower spine, but my upper back, I'm still crunching my head forward. A tendency that comes from sitting in a desk chair too long for 30 years. So now I'm going to expand my upper back, lift my occipital bone, lift the crown of my head. Imagine I'm spearing the sky. So at the same time that I'm sitting down, oh, I forgot to say, imagine you're sitting on a windowsill, but without sticking the butt out. sitting on a windowsill. And now we went lower. Now let's stand as tall as we can. Spear the back of the head up into the sky and expand the shoulder blades and the space behind the shoulder blades. Feel like you're expanding that back there. And now we have a straight spine, hopefully right up from our tailbone all the way up through the top of our skull, the crown of our skull. All right. And we're going to try and hold that throughout the form. Now, I always, halfway through the form or 3 moves into the form, my butt will be sticking out. But I'm always catching myself. This is the mindfulness of Tai Chi. I catch myself making mistakes. I adjust my position. I straighten that spine. I roll that pelvis back under, and I'm doing Tai Chi again. And by the way, you'll notice that when you roll the pelvis, all of a sudden, your legs are working harder. Why? Well, you bent the knees. And normally we're standing up. So our weight is stacked up on top of our skeleton. The only muscles we need to use are those that keep our balance. Tiny little muscles. We adjust our balance pretty quickly. And so we don't get too far out of line. Once we do this, legs are bent. We need the quadriceps to hold us up. All right, so that's our stance. So feet are shoulder width. Rotate that pelvis. Palms are facing back. And now we have a good Tai Chi stance. Ready to jump in the air, perhaps. Imagine you're getting ready to jump in the air. But we're not going to jump in the air. But we'll get to that in a moment. So here we are. That's your posture. We got that out of the way. So we got safety. We got posture. Knees are bent. Pelvis is rotated. Crown, the back of the head, the back of the skull is elevated. Oh, and the chin is down. So don't let that chin go up because you're trying to elevate the back of the, yeah, okay, but bring the chin down. That's why I like the expression, really? Because it does bring the chin down at the same time that we're craning, popping up the back of the head. All right, so now let's start moving. Boy, that was a lot of talking, wasn't it? I told you I talk too much. All right, so here we are. We're going to scoop up sand and pour it out, shifting our weight as we do so. Scooping up sand, pouring it out. Scooping up sand, pouring it out. And what are we doing? Well, let's go through all the ingredients one by one. First of all, nice and rounds. Get the arms elevated. Create a space under the arms. Master Chen talked about a child with water wings in the pool. Imagine you have water wings under there. Just keep those elbows high, keep that body, keep those arms out and around and wide. Really, I do this when I'm waiting for a serve in tennis, by the way. I pop the elbows up a little bit. Works great. I'm faster, I'm quicker, I'm more alert. So I got my arms up. Now I'm moving slowly. That's the next ingredient. Make sure you're moving slowly and steadily. That's the next ingredient. We don't want to speed up or slow down. All the classics use the same metaphor. Move like a mighty river. Never speeds up, never slows down. Imagine you're standing on a bank of the Mississippi watching a twig float by. That's not going to speed up and it's not going to slow down. There's way too much water out there to speed up and slow down. What else am I doing? Oh, okay, so I'm going left, going right. As I finish going right and I start coming back left, make it continuous. We don't want to break. We don't want to stop. Dissolve one direction into the next. Check my posture. I think maybe my lower lumbar started to curl up a little bit there, so I'm checking my posture. And now we're getting into the mindfulness of Tai Chi, is we're constantly aware of what we're doing, how we're doing it. We're using our proprioceptive sense. There's a big word. It's our feel for our own body. Muscle spindles, Golgi tendon, something or others, and joint capsules, the 3 components of the proprioceptive system. It is a sixth, you heard about the sixth sense, which is supposed to be extrasensory perception. Now, the sixth sense is our own sense of our own body. Nice and slow, nice and continuous. What else is there? Oh, big one. Maybe, I don't know how I forgot it. Maybe the biggest one. Everything starts together and ends together. The weight shift, so I got the right hand coming up, the left hand coming down, scooping through, and the weight shifting to the right. They all get to the right at the same time. And coming back, they start together and they end together. This, I think, might be the key to Tai Chi. The slow is good too. And notice, by the way, that I am staying down in that bent leg stance. Now, I've been doing this for a while, so I'm kind of used to it. But eventually your legs will get tired and you can just stand up a little bit, straighten up if you have to, take a break if you want to. But this is the benefit of Tai Chi. We're going to have balance, strength, coordination. Everything starts together and ends together. Coordination, and eventually just the mental calm, peacefulness of contemplating everything going on and being careful about executing just the way it's specified. And that takes our mind off of everything else, which is the key to meditation, right? Now, I think it's time to start moving our feet. So what I'm going to do is step in and step out. I kind of fell into that. I'm going to step in and step out. Step in and step out. I'm going to start walking backwards because I think I'm a little too close to the camera. But notice I'm stepping in, stepping out. And what you want to do is work on, I talked about being safe. If you have a problem with the balance, because what I'm doing is I'm balancing on one leg, right? So you can just step in, step out. Step in, step out. Just have in mind that what you want to do is get to the point where you can step in, hold it, step out. Step in, hold it, step out. When you step out, try and do it slowly. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is stepping in, stepping out. 1, 2, 3. Stepping in, 1, 2, 3. Stepping out, 1, 2. I fell out of that one pretty quick. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just play with that. Don't make yourself crazy. Put your toe down if you have to. Just step out. This is the empty step, by the way. You might have noticed that the name of my group is emptystep.net. I don't know why that's funny, but so this is the empty step. And what you see with the empty step is I need to balance, use my leg strength, have support all my weight on one leg, and then step out. Step in and step out. I have to hold my balance for a count of 4. Wow, that's pretty impressive. But this gracefulness, this sliding, is part of what makes the form beautiful for others to watch. And it's part of what makes it feel nice to execute. Now you're doing Tai Chi. And I think we're ready for the first movement of Master Chen's 60 movements. Now I think for this course, we're gonna do an abbreviated form of Master Chen's 60 movements. So don't worry about it. 60 movements sounds like a lot. It's not. There are 39 different movements, 21 repetitions. We're gonna do something that's about 42 or 40 movements. And again, there'll be repetitions, so it's not as bad as it sounds. And there's no memorization, by the way. We're going to practice each movement, learn it, polish it, practice it more, polish it. We have what's known as muscle memory. We're just going to learn it and know it without even thinking. The funny thing is we actually can't start anywhere in the middle. Say, hey, Ken, start with ward off left. or a snake creeps down. I don't know where that is. I'd have to, start somewhere before it build up to it. A lot of times I pick the wrong spot. No, that's after, So anyway, I'm babbling. Let's start with the first movement of Grandmaster William C.C. Chen's 60 movements, and it's actually pretty much the same as other Yang style forms. We're gonna stand normally, relaxed, and for fun, we can imagine that we're on guard. We're on a trail. We've been posted. There's a marauder, a band of marauders. They're wandering the province, the countryside, attacking villages in the dead of night. And I've been posted on one of the trails leading into our village. What I'm doing is I'm standing still. I don't want them to see me. I want to see them before they see me. So I'm standing perfectly still, but I'm relaxing. I'm not rigid. I'm not tense. Got my chin down because I might be here for 4 hours waiting to see these marauders appear. I'm relaxed. I'm breathing from my belly. Again, nice and relaxed. I want to stay relaxed. Relaxed is more alert than tense. We see more when we are relaxed. We are aware of more when we are relaxed. So there I am. My hands are at my side, and there they are. Then, I see the marauders. I sink down on my foot. I still don't want them to see me, so I move slowly, sink my weight over my right foot, step out into a fighting stance with the left foot pointed straight forward. I'm going to center, straighten up. My right foot is now pointed straight forward. I'm in a Wu Chi stance. Knees are bent, palms are facing back. That is the first movement. That's called the preparation. Shall we look at that again? I'm standing with my feet splayed normally, heels closer together than my toes. Balanced over my feet, relaxed, neck is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, head is erect because I want to see as far as possible. But the chin is down because if I get surprised, I don't want to get knocked out. So my chin is down and protected. Sink out over the right foot, pick up the left foot, step out, sink into the left foot, straighten up, and as I straighten up, I bring the right foot with me. How does that work? When I sank into the right foot, I also turned my waist a little bit. My waist is now square with my right foot. Now when I step out, left foot goes square, pointed due north. As I straighten up, the hips come straight, pointing due north, and I just bring the right foot with it. By the way, you'll see a lot of people step out like this, bring the weight over, turn the right foot in, and then straighten up. No. We want to do it in a single motion. Okay, and the palms are facing back. The elbows are popped out. We're ready to jump. You can imagine you're getting ready to jump. In fact, we're ready for an attack. It'll come straight at our throat, and what we're going to do is rise up, striking with the backs of our hands. So it looks like the arms are floating up. Nah, all we're doing is striking with the backs of our hands. The fingers are relaxed, fingers are soft, fingers are soft, fingers are soft, and bam. Now the hands float back. We're done. We blocked the attack. Ooh, we're going to roll out, get outside their arms, grab them by the shoulders, throw them down. Pop the hands back. All right, now we can straighten up, and I can give the martial salute because we are done with this beginning of the show. And the martial salute is a fist indicating martial capability, a flat palm indicating we would prefer, and the fist is yang, attacking, hard, violent. The palm is yin, which is soft and peaceful. We prefer peace over martial violence, but we have the martial if needed. We prefer the peace. And thank you.